Commiefornia. California passes a bill requiring parents to affirm kids' gender transitions.
Oh, God. They actually passed this lunatic bill. AB 957 is the bill that it was passed. I think someone in our community, I believe it was, I won't name him, but someone in the PHETASY fam was kind of like, they're just going to use this to make him seem like a moderate, him being Newsom. So Newsom still has to sign the bill. If he wants to stay governor, he will sign it. If he wants to run for president, he's probably going to not sign it. So somebody's theory was that like they're pushing this all the way through so that he cannot sign it and make himself seem like more of a moderate. Newsom does seem to be gearing up for running for president. The media apparatus seems to be pushing Biden out. There was even a Washington Post article this week by I almost called them a commie, by a liberal. Maybe I am right wing. Someone from the Washington Post put out this article that like Biden's too old to run, Biden and Kamala. And they keep trying to sneak her in. Like Ben Shapiro was like, they keep sneaking Kamala's name and like, we're not going to notice. Newsom did a sit down on Meet the Press. So Newsom was talking about the COVID lockdowns and he's saying if we had it to do all over, we didn't know. Only an Einstein can, look ahead and know these things.
We didn't know what we didn't know. And it was hardly it was we. We didn't know what we didn't know. We're experts in hindsight. We would have done everything differently.
He's a liar. He knew. He was doubling down on stuff that the science was already pushing back against, even long after it was known that things that they were doing didn't work. And they kept kids out of school for longer almost than anywhere in California, which is now having devastating effects, which anyone could have predicted while his kids went to private school. He ate at the French Laundry while everybody else was locked down and masked up. Like, this guy is so enormously full of shit. He freaking knew. He was just doing all it makes me, I can't get into it because it could be its own Breaking Bridget. But back to this insane bill that makes me happy about my decision to transition from California to Texas. You can basically be considered a child abuser if you don't affirm your kid's gender. No, you're a child abuser if you want to mutilate your kid for your freaking Instagram post so you can be like, look at my trans kid. Why do all the celebrities have trans kids? This is like some freaking weird, like, narcissism on fire. I do not understand what is going on. I don't understand why this has made it into the courts, except, oh, wait, I do understand because it's Scott Wiener, whose hard drive I don't want to say, and the woman who pushed this bill through. Oh, guess what? She has a trans kid. Helen Joyce did an amazing interview and she said this stuff is going to be pernicious and it's going to persist because the people who generally push all of these bills in power, you almost always find out they have a trans kid, and it's because they have to double down on their own belief that what they did was right instead of face the fact that they basically committed an atrocity against their child.
I mean, this bill is insane. The state can take your child away.
Yeah, of course.
Not only can you lose custody of them to, like, if you're in a custody battle with a spouse, the state can just come and take your child away. And then there were like the fact that
That's bill, Scott Wiener wants all your kids, Californians.
And the fact that they just call it gender affirmation, but it isn't defined or explained in the bill at all. And they make no distinction regarding the age of the child, how long the child has identified as transgender, or like affirmation of social transition versus medical sex change treatments.
Nothing. They can sterilize your kid and you basically don't have a say. I mean, Abigail Schreier did that amazing piece years ago that was terrifying when the state comes for your kid about it's basically like the West Coast is just completely lost. When lawmakers are the new bullies that you got to worry about for your kids, things are not good. You don't have to worry about the bully shaking your kids down for lunch money anymore. Now you got to worry about the state of California shaking your kid down for their bits and pieces.
But here I come, the government,